3D Rising is back in action, and we are in Colorado tonight where we watched Arapahoe and Cherokee Trail. Big win for Arapahoe tonight on senior night. We're talking to Logan Bobzien, their head coach. Coach, congrats on the win. Just tell us about tonight and why this was a special win for you.
Yeah, well, anytime we celebrate our seniors on senior night, it's always a special night. At halftime we were able to honor them and their parents and their families come out, and it's always special for us to see them and hear where they're going beyond lacrosse and beyond their senior year. So it's good for them to get out and get a win and play together and kind of be celebrated as a senior class for our team.
Pretty interesting year here in Colorado for high school lacrosse, and you're right in the middle of it. Last year you were one of the power programs. You've got some quality wins this year, but some losses as well. Just talk about the scene this year and what you see happening.
Yeah, I think the 2016 class was really strong across the board here in Colorado. And I think right now the team to beat is Cherry Creek. They have a lot of seniors. They are heavy. They've had some big wins recently over Vista and Torrey Pines when they came out and visited. And then Regis obviously is always going to be battling. They were the state champions last year. Mountain Vista has a great senior class, and we're just hoping to be able to compete with those guys at the end of the season and be in a position to, have an opportunity, which is really all we can ask for.
As a guy from out this way, from out in Colorado, you've obviously seen a lot of lacrosse and you've seen it evolve. I guess just talk about what the difference is in programs that are sort of at the top right now compared to some of the ones that are trying to work their way up the ladder here.
I think with any high school sports, the culture of the high school that you have and the traditions that those guys have really have a large impact. The most recent program to make a jump up into kind of that top five was Mountain Vista, and a big reason for that was they really created a culture and a belief and a brotherhood that they could compete with those big teams. I mean, this year was the first year that they'd ever beaten Regis in their program history. So I think for those other teams looking to make that jump, it's just a matter of the players believing in themselves. They are teenagers, and so for them to have the confidence in themselves and their teammates to compete, it really goes a long way.
Just talk about the talent level here in Colorado. Tonight we took in our first time watching Cherokee Trail. And you guys took a one-sided win in this game, but they still have plenty of players on their team that coaches would be interested in seeing. Kids with skill. Just talk about what's been the difference in helping grow the game out here.
I think there's been a lot of factors that go into these players really developing at a higher level. I think the coaching, first and foremost, across the entire state has improved. I mean, now you're seeing kids who graduated with me and a couple years older and younger who have played the sport and love the sport getting back involved with the youth players, and so they are learning a higher skill. I think too, as the game has evolved and there's programs out there that really devote an opportunity to teach, it really helps just raise, rising tides kind of raise all ships out here in Colorado. And the Cherokee Trail team that we played today was incredibly young, so I look forward to seeing how they improve over the next 2 years. I mean, we had a group of juniors and seniors out there competing, and they had a bunch of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So they graduated a lot from their team last year, and I'm excited to see how they continue to improve going forward.
Speaking of improvement, what do you see in your team that you have to work on to be where you want to be at the end of the year?
We got a few things that we need to work on. Just, discipline is always, I think, is the biggest piece, and ability to communicate on defense and really just be aware of the game situations. I think that's one of the things that we're learning as we go on through our season is just situational awareness. So we want to make sure that we kind of focus on those points as we go into the final week of our season. We have 3 games left with Regis and Mountain Vista next week. So 2 top 3 opponents that we got to be ready for heading into the playoffs.
Well, Coach, congrats on the win and thanks for your time.
Thank you.